Seek out the best.
2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is coming
to you.
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
we break the news.
Men in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news spreads. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime
News, a 24-hour news station.
Beautiful day here in Lagos. Good morning and thank you for joining us on Core Digest Tuesday. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Hope you woke up on the right side of the bed. In case you didn't, let's make it right for you as we bring you in-depth review and analysis of stories breaking in Nigeria. We kickstart with security. Much talk as regards what Nigeria looks like right now in its fight against terrorism, especially as we count down to the 2015 general elections. Now, this is the third time that Mr. President will be proposing for an extension on the emergency rule. You recall the debates before now. Many have actually said, why a partial emergency rule? Why make the army work hand in hand with democratically elected government in these 3 northeastern states? Why not just get a ministry administrator or something? But the update on that story is that Mr. President is seeking legislative backing for a further 6-month extension of emergency rule in 3 northeastern states of Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe State. And the only person that the media could speak with yesterday at the council, of course, a meeting attended by all security and defense chiefs, as well as the ministers of defense and interior, was the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mohammed Adoke, who disclosed to us after the meeting, presided over Mr. President, that they will seek for approval by the National Assembly to have emergency rule in these 3 states extended for the 4th time. Let's hear from the horse's mouth, and I'll be back with you.
Issue of the state of emergency, and then the government will be requesting the National Assembly to extend the state of emergency.
How soon would that be in view that an arm of the National Assembly is currently on break?
It will go in immediately.
Good question I get, because the House of Representatives are presently on break to reconvene on the 3rd day of December. I was with a distinguished member of the Senate on the show yesterday, and I asked him about the role of these lawmakers in the fight against terrorism. You recall the last time that this emergency rule was extended by the Senate, there was this consensus arrangement between the lawmakers and the security chiefs as regards ensuring that they come to give accounts of progress that's been experienced on the field on a regular basis. Not much of that have been heard, and the distinguished senator actually said there's a little they can do because they are not executives. All they can do is to earmark funds here and there. You recall the signing of $1 billion loan in the fight against insurgency. Let's see how all of this go. The House of Reps is on break, and then we really don't know how that will play out, but it's still based on their discretion to sign or otherwise as regards this issue. Let's move away quickly from there. Good news for every electorate when INEC decided to extend the ongoing continuous voter registration by 2 days, but that didn't seem to answer the questions on the hearts of many. The exercise kick-started with the PVC collection, which also attracted quite a number of complaints from people, especially in Lagos. But if the experiences of Lagosians at centers for this continuous voters registration is anything to go by, of course, the 2-day extension granted by INEC is already going through some acid test. Our reporter was out yesterday and find out what these people have to say, what the experiences are, but it's laced with all manner of complaints and frustrations on the part of this would-be electorate. And this is exactly how they interpreted their plight.
It's not okay, but it's okay today. All the machine they brought for us is not good at all. We are the member of this month borrow them generator, petrol, everything what they need. What the federal government is supposed to give them, we are the one producing for them.
The process is dull, it's slow, and you can see the area, the street is very big. This is So if they since Thursday, I myself have been trying to do this registration, but I can't because only one person. Thank you. Today they are 2. And you can see the population of people is too much. If you can have 3 or 4 centers and to help this one, it can make the process more faster.
This exercise, as I see it, is worst. It's worst because the system is not all right at all in Lagos State. In my own local government here, people could have gone, but the system is not good. That is number one. The one we did in year 2011, instead to bring it for us, we don't see it. Look this one. Look how they print it. Is it fair? They just waste federal government money. Is that fair? They just wasted the federal.
Now, I mean, how do we put all of these things together? The INEC chairman, Atahiru Jega, says that the 2015 general elections would be one of the best ever. But then how do we justify a free, fair and credible election if we do not have a successful pre-election process in the area of registration and people collecting their permanent voter cards? Because the bottom line is that if certain people do not collect, they have been automatically disenfranchised and they will not be able to perform their civic rights as regards voting. We hope that all of these issues would be resolved soon because Nigerians also have their own economic challenges. People are going out every day, going to work. They have to take their children to schools and them fending for their own basic needs. No one has all the time in this world to sit down at one polling unit to ensure that it's been registered. And one common complaint that everyone has been making is the idea of poor personnel on the part of INEC and of course their machines and all of that not working. I mean, at a high Jega, I think that Mr. Professor has to do something in this regards. And indeed, the federal government also has a lion's share. We'll bring in the resident electoral commissioner in Lagos sometimes in this week to find out his position as regards all of this. But we also met with the rec all the way from River State. He was Cross River, I beg your pardon, Michael Guinea was actually in Lagos yesterday, and he is of the opinion that the story of disenfranchising seems to be overrated, and he is saying that people should not entertain fear and that the difficulties being experienced right now will soon be solved. He also made his position known as regards the ongoing school of thought, or should we call it conspiracy theory or whatever it is, criticisms from the opposition that PDP is now in connivance with INEC, and that is the reason why certain people are being disenfranchised in the ongoing PVC collection and continuous voter registration. Let's hear the resident electoral commissioner of Cross River State out on this issue.
The level, most of the people you are talking about, you have not seen, they are at the level of the AFI stage, where at that stage, because we have agreed that for you to have a permanent voter's card, as we indicated in 2011, you must have your 10-finger captured. But we discovered that after running the office, a number of people, do not have complete 10. So we now have what we call a minimum of 2 fingers in each hand. So 2 in each hand is a required threshold. So if, for example, we can see Fola, all right, Fola had no picture, but we can see the name of Fola. And because what it requires is a photo ID, you will not be able to be given a printed, you will not be printed a permanent voter's card. You are certainly in that office. So we have people whose faces, you can see somebody name, no face. You can see somebody who has thumbprint, but he has no photograph. Or you have somebody who has a photograph, but he has 0 thumbprint. Meanwhile, the minimum is 2. These are the categories of people that we still have on the database. But you cannot produce a permanent voter's card for them. These are the people that are expected to represent themselves for re-registration when they shall have completed the process of CVR collection. Issue, of course, the offices are open for Lagosians or Nigerians, wherever you may be, because 2015, without a PVC, you cannot vote. And it is the right of all Nigerians. We should defend, stand tall and mighty in defense of that right anytime, any day. But a successful electoral process is not also without a few challenges. At our own level, we remain commitment, and our commitment is unwavering to get the best thing for Nigeria.
Okay, it was a long speech. Does a bit of those positions that he had to give towards the President Electoral Commission of Cross River State by the name Mike Igini. Now, of course, he also made mention of certain people who, the fact that you have to give 10 of your prints, your fingerprints. What happens to Nigerians who don't have hands and fingers? We hope that we can find answers to all of that in due time. But the bottom line is that in case you do not see INEC officials in your polling units, in your own local area where you are, you can access them. We understand that INEC has offices in the 774 local government areas in Nigeria. So you can access INEC even up until 2 weeks before the election to collect your permanent voter cards. But my concern is people who have not even registered at all. We hope that they'll get to your area anytime soon. Now, the biggest story today would be coming from EKITI. EKITI seems to be in the eye of the storm again, and it's the issues of numbers. You recall what happened in River State, the House of Assembly, where we actually saw a lawmaker break the mace on another person's head. Lawmakers or lawbreakers, what exactly and what do we call them this morning in Nigeria? It's ongoing in Edo State, where you have two different houses of assembly, one meeting at the Chief Anthony Nauro complex, the other one meeting at the State House. And then just recently we also talked about the House of Reps Palava, where Mr. Speaker made public his membership of the All Progressives Congress, and that also pitted two different parties together under the platform, under the umbrella of who those people we call lawmakers in Nigeria. You also recall the Nigerian Governors Forum, where 16 was greater than 19, and all of those stories. In Ekiti, this time around, 7 members of the House of Assembly, PDP, of course, we don't know where they got the 3 additional number 2, but PDP is claiming that they had 10 members at the floor of the House, and they met yesterday, and they also did not only meet as we get certain issues, but they talked about having a pro tem speaker. I checked for the definition of pro tem on Google earlier today. It talks about an act for the time being. So did they have a quorum? Did they have a 2/3? Did they have the legal right to do all that they have done? We are planning to ensure that we get balance on this story. So we'll be speaking later on the show with an honorable member of the House from the APC, as well as a representation of the People's Democratic Party in EKITI. But could it also be true that because APC has the largest number or a higher number of members of the House of Assembly, that they might be using the numbers to frustrate the PDP government? Because prior to this time, we have heard about issues. It kick-started immediately after Ayofayoshe became governor, and then we started hearing of trade of words between the former governor and the incumbent governor, especially as regards the cost of building the government house. Just recently, about yesterday thereabout, the Speaker of the House also started talking about his position as regards all of this. There was a news that quoted the Speaker saying that he would be the acting governor who will conduct a rerun election after the court in Ekiti has chased Fayoshe away. But the Speaker came out to say he didn't say that, but Mr. Governor said he should keep dreaming. Now, prior to that time also, we've had members of the House who have said they are now being, their houses impounded, their what do you call it now, the full station impounded by the state governor, quite a number of issues. And then you begin to wonder if rarely we have the kind of quality of leadership that Nigerians truly deserve. But the bottom line now is that the House of Assembly in EKITI is following the path of what is being experienced in Edo State, where you have different parties and different sects. Now, the issues kick-started when the House rejected commissioner nominees and the appointment of about 16 local government caretakers also, and all of this now is evolving as certain member of the House sat yesterday at a pro tem speaker, and of course they have now appointed for themselves 3 commissioner nominees and of course 16 local government caretakers. In the course of the show today, we'll do more justice to this in-depth analysis and of course giving you a balanced story of all of these emerging issues from the land of honor, Ekiti State. We're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we'll find out what the top stories are on the Nigerian dailies. And Cold Digest Tuesday kickstart in a moment. Don't go away.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
They gave me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on Core TV News.
Nigerians encourage corruption besides doing first off the punch newspaper. America's Nigerian Governor Forum calls for Okhai resignation. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper. The dailies every day on Core TV News.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
I see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on Core TV News.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360.
2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa und da ist der Ausgleich.
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course, making a difference for all of us here from all our production. I hope one will bless up.
Nigerians are expected to seek out the best. 2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducting.
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
we break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
A 24-hour news station.
Welcome again. This is Core Digest Tuesday, exclusive to Core TV News. Quite a lot of things to talk about. They say there are no new things under heaven. It seems as if we're just recycling the same stories in Nigeria under different names and different locations. Let's find out what the top stories are today on some of Nigerian newspapers. I have The Guardian, The Punch, The Nation, as well as The Vanguard for review. So let's kickstart with The Guardian. I'm already joined in our studio by phenomenal public affairs analyst Victor Okhai. Good morning, and thank you for finding time to join us again.
Thank you for having me.
How's Nigeria now? The austerity measures, is it catching up with you?
It is said to be imminent. I don't think it's here yet, and we hope it doesn't come.
And that there are even opinions that it will affect the upper class first before it comes to the middle class, and then before the real Nigerian start feeling it.
It is Shakespeare that said, "He that is down is fear no fall, but he that is up ever shall have God to be his guide."
Okay, I see. Perfect way to answer that. All right, let's start with The Guardian this morning. Governor sabotaging judiciary, says CJN. That's the top story of The Guardian newspaper. And the front picture here shows awardees. Chief Wole Olanipeko-san on the left side, Professor Wole Soyinka, Emeritus Professor Tekena Tamuno, and Emeritus Prof. Oladipo Ogunlese at the 2014 convocation and 66th Foundation Day of the University of Ibadan. Yesterday, of course it was in Ibadan yesterday. To other stories now. Nation living on the cloud of shame, dereliction, says Soyinka. That's on page 6 of The Guardian. And court strikes out Samboa seat over withdrawal of security details. That's on page 7. Factional 7 EKITI lawmakers approve commissioner nominees. You'll find details of that on page 11 if you care to check. And government seeks extension of emergency rule in 3 states. Military rejigs defense and security strategies. Other news notes that you will find on the front page of The Guardian this morning. Narrow political interest will bring anarchy. Catholic bishops won. Jonathan denies anti-Ishekiri allegation over Delta project. That's on page 7. It was drama, I believe, earlier at the weekend when even media personnel were abducted and really brutalized in that particular region of the country. We hope that the federal government can do something decisive over that. Lagos charges 50 firms to court over tax evasion. Details on page 7. And it's 218 days after the abduction of over 200 Chibok girls in Borno State. Bring back our girls, that's what Guardian is saying. Now, Victor, let's start with these proposed extension of emergency rule. Now, if this goes through, this definitely will be the 3rd time that the National Assembly will be agreeing with this. I was with a senator yesterday on the show, and this issue of the role of legislators propped up again, because the promise before now was that there would be a continuous evaluation of the progress, and the security chiefs will come to give account of what is happening. But we've not seen much of that in recent times.
Well, you will agree with me that, Thursday will make it a year since the emergency rule was imposed, and the next 6 months will take us to about 18 months. You'll agree with me that the situation today is worse than it was a year ago. If there was a need a year ago, there's an even greater need today. So it's not whether or not it should be extended, but how much needs to be done to make it even more effective. I think that's the...
Are you looking at a holistic emergency rule this time around?
I think it might help. And I say so with every sense of responsibility. Politicians are good at what they're good at. And it's certainly not at fighting insurgency. That's not what they are cut out for. The military are also good at what they're good at. Which is fighting wars. And right now, when they're on the one hand fighting, and politicians on the other hand, I'm twisting them and saying they are committing genocide and all of that, and blackmailing them, and playing politics with, issues as serious as this. And I think if the federal government decides to go the whole hog, it's in order.
Well, it's going to be hard to get, given because you are not going to politicians to approve that their colleagues be chased away from power.
It's not about chasing them away from power. You see, this is selfish. I keep saying that if we can apply the Ebola strategy in every facet of our national life or national emergency, this country will be greater. You know, if they don't allow it soon, the insurgents are capturing territories. When they take over the 3 states, what will they rule? Where will they rule? They won't have any place to rule. And they might lose their lives, properties, or family members, God forbid, in the process.
How do you see all of this impacting on the much talked about 2015 general elections?
Will there be a 2015 if there's no Nigeria? Will there be a 2015 if there's no territory? It is in the light in which I think we should look at it.
It's all right. Let's move away quickly from there to find out what the top stories are today on the front page of the Punch. Drama as 7 EKITI PDP lawmakers seat elect speaker. The writers here talks about riot policemen, armored vehicle, block assembly gate. Speaker says seating illegal. Fayose inaugurates caretaker panels. You get details of that on page 2 of the Punch. And the front page picture shows a policeman interrogating a visitor to the Ekiti State House of Assembly complex in Ado-Ekiti. There's been much talked as regards the involvement of the Nigerian police in all of that happened in Ekiti yesterday. Now, there are different numbers going around as regards the number of policemen that now, follow these particular 7 PDP lawmakers in Ekiti. But moving away from there to other stories on the front page of the Punch, PDP governors move against Muazu. That's on page 13 of the Punch. Dangote refinery to begin operation in 2018. That's on page 34. Obasanjo killed student unionism, says Bakari, page 7 of the Punch. Jonathan extends emergency rule in Borno. Others, that's on page 2. No hasty embrace of austerity measures, says Reps. I cannot count the stolen cars I have sold. Not me. It's a suspect confessing on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch. Nigeria under a cloud of shame, says Shoeka. Well, we don't have a choice. It seems to be the prominent story here. But then, does it baffle you at all when this happens again? Because this is not the first time that we're seeing this. That's happened in Rivers. It's presently happening in Edo State. We even saw it coming earlier last month, even at the level of the House of Representatives. Is there something wrong with the system, or just something wrong with the kind of people that run the system for us in this country?
See, whoever shouts loudest, or is able to shout loudest, in this case, music, mass media very well, would seem to attract sympathies. As we discuss further on, we will look at the level of impunity across board. Just to demonstrate that this is not a one-party thing, but this is something that has been going on for quite a while.
It's all right. We'll get there. The Nation newspaper is our next point of call on the dailies today. The top story here, anger as 7 PDP lawmakers endorse Fayose's nominees. Now, the quorum is 9, and we had 10 members who attended the sitting. That shows that we formed a quorum. That's what PDP caucus leader is saying. And Fayose provided 7 members of PDP with 300 armed mobile policemen, complete with armored vehicles to conduct a plenary. That's the position of the speaker. Let's say part or past part now. The writers here, 3 strange men join house sitting, and governor sacks aides of speaker, others. Wow. Well, the front page picture of the Nation, if our cameras caught it, a thought for the slain kids. Parents in a peaceful protest against the bombing of schools and killing of pupils at the government science secondary school, Potiskum, Yobe State in Abuja yesterday. INEX voter cards, crisis going in Lagos, Edo, Kano, others, and fears of voting rights loss rise among would-be voters. You get details on page 4 of the Punch. The Nation reporter kidnapped in Abia. Regional editor O'Neill, others relieve experiences. It wasn't a good time for journalists over the weekend. Now, Oyo landlords get compensation as Ajimobi gives 235 checks. Details on page 10 of the Nation. And 35 out of 1,000 babies die in Kwara. Echejele will beat South Africa at page 41, and dormant phone lines now 46.6 million. That's on page 11 of the Nation. Let me take you to sports, Victor. Quite a great job that Super Eagles of Nigeria could bounce back over the weekend, beating Congo with amazing 2-0. But tomorrow we'll have to face the Bafana coming all the way from South Africa. The good thing is that we'll be playing in a new stadium, bright lights, and you know, the nest. Beautiful, beautiful. But then, do you see us being able to pull this through?
Well, I want to quote Taribo West at the opening of the nest, that's so-called. He looked around and said, if I were to play, I'm paraphrasing now, in a stadium like this and hear all those voices, look at this beautiful arena. Okay. He said, for him, it was like, there's more than enough inspiration to go, you know, and I see that happening. It's a tough one, but what you're going to see there is the South African coach, whose job Keshi would have taken, yes, would be, apart from the traditional rivalry between both countries, although they have nothing at stake, but he'll want to prove that he's a better coach. That's right. And so he'll go all out. He would want to prove that South Africans were right in picking him.
He'll be playing for pride.
Yes, exactly. And Keshi will be playing the game of his life. Oh my. And the players know that it's now or never. I'm glad that Enyama Malinze, quote unquote, the cat, with being good for us. And I'm hopeful that we will carry the day.
It's all right. I'm hopeful too, and I have a sense of pride even after this game. Just imagine that Keshi finally wins the game. I mean, it will settle a lot of dusts, just like EKITI settled quite a number of dusts by scoring a goal after about 1 year missing in action. Our final point of call today is the Vanguard newspaper. Let's find out what the top story is here. 7 PDP lawmakers take over EKITI Assembly. EKITI in the news again, but this time around, not quite good news. Appoint Speaker pro tempore. Okhai Fayoshe's requests. This illegality can't stand, says Speaker Omiri, as APC kicks. I want to interfere in House of Assembly matters, says Fayoshe. Approved local government caretaker committee members inaugurated. All right, to other stories. Fresh fighting in Nasarawa. Government declares dusk to dawn curfew. That's on page 8. And if I can see more, austerity measures trigger Naira depreciation. Spike in interbank rates. Page 9 of the Vanguard. Well, quicker look at the sports stories. On the back page of the Vanguard this morning, EKITI speaking tough. It says it's gonna be war against Bafana and looks quite ready to go. Keshi to invite more unknown players. We're going to Nigeria to win. Foreman Mashaba says on page 61 of the Vanguard. Okay, just before we go on the dailies, Victor, exciting one here talks about austerity. I don't know what's exciting about that, but the austerity measures is in the news now. Don't you think that it's about time that Nigeria needs to, of course we've heard this several times, but we need to take a shift from basically being an oil-based economy to finding money and revenue out of all that the many abundant resources that we have?
It's happening already. The road has been long in coming, and the change is not going to happen overnight. But there's a quiet revolution going on in the agri sector. The economy is being diversified. And it'll take a while to show, but we'll have to go down first before we go up.
Okay, you're quite hopeful.
I'm hopeful, yes.
You are also an incurable optimist.
Why not? Do I have a choice?
We'll take a short break now, and we'll try to put some call through now to stakeholders in EKITI as we kickstart our topic for the day. Stick around, don't go away.
Core TV News, expanding your view.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emotan of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on Core TV News.
Thank you for joining us again. We're joined now on telephone by an honorable member of the EKITI State House of Assembly, Honorable Ogunlola Omowumi, representing Ijero constituency, and she's also the chairman committee on HIV/AIDS. Good morning, Honorable. Thank you for finding time to join us today.
Good morning. Good morning, and listeners at home. Good morning.
What exactly would you say transpired yesterday at the floor of the House of Assembly in EKITI State?
Yes, yesterday morning some of our members were going to the House of Assembly because normally on Mondays we have parliamentary deliberation. That is, it is not a normal day for sitting.
Okay.
So we were there, but on getting there, some of them, because I wasn't there, some of us, on getting there, they turned back, that they should go back, because they had a list of those people that they said will come to the House of Assembly. And we saw mammoth crowd of policemen, military men, and even thugs with guns, broken bottles, and cutlasses. So we had to go back. And it was after that that we had that 7 members of the PDP members, unofficial, because as far as the House is concerned, we have 2 members of the PDP. One was an original one, and the other one informed the House on the floor of the House. So they were the ones that went to sit. And they said they had their own, I don't know how they come about that they had their own speaker and they screened commissioner nominees and special advisors, and also mandated the governor to constitute the local government, which to the House of Assembly and the EKITI State House of Assembly as an arm of government, an aberration.
It's all right. Just before you go on, Honorable, you said yesterday was not your normal sitting day. Was the House on recess before this time?
Yes, Monday is for parliamentary. That is where we generate what is supposed to be done for the rest of the week.
Okay.
Tuesday, we normally have our normal sitting on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, because Friday is for oversight function.
Okay, so you were not supposed to sit yesterday?
Yes, we are not supposed. And even if we are going to sit, they will have to notice all the members and inform us by way of text messages, and it will come from the clerk with the instructions of the speaker.
Okay, but there are also reports that the Deputy Speaker, Taiwo Orishalade, was there yesterday alongside some other APC lawmakers. So if you were not supposed to sit yesterday, how come they were around?
I told you that Monday is for parliamentary.
Okay.
And it's always in the House of Assembly. We have our parliamentary halls there. We normally meet there. It's on Monday. So it is normal that we'll be at the premises. We were also coming, but when we heard that some of our members, or the APC members, were turned back, and with the presence of military men and even armor tank, the armor tank is still there, right there at the premises of the House of Assembly.
Are you saying categorically that the APC lawmakers were not allowed inside the assembly complex by military personnel?
We were not allowed. We were not allowed. Some of our members were there. The Deputy Speaker was there. Honorable Erile was there. Some of them, because you know, it is not as if we will get there at the same time. But it was when they got there and they were turned back that some of us had to leave, and people were calling us that there were talks there. Even members and the staff of the House of Assembly called me on the phone that we shouldn't come near the place.
It's all right, but what initial issue did the House had with the commissioner nominees and the initial list that was brought to the floor of the House by the governor?
Yes, we have our conduct. The activities of the House is guided by the rules, the standing order of the House. It is normal that when the governor, if he wrote a letter to the House of Assembly for nominees of commissioners, and the letter was read to us on the floor of the House, it is normal that we have the CVs of these commissioners. It is not mandatory that because they have read their letters to us that we should take the commissioners, because they will have to peruse their CVs. So, in another word, when the letter was read to us, we now we fixed another date for their screening. And it was later that day that we had on the radio, on the state radio and the television, that we were demanding for money. And we also, because there were 3 items for that day. The governor wants to assess the central bank loan, 2 billion for SMEs, for small scale enterprises. So we took that, we gave him the mandate, we approved, we passed a resolution in respect of that. And the other one is for dissolution and reconstitution of the local government. And the standing order, we have the standing order, order 54, rule 5, that says if there's any matter, reference cannot be made to any matter that is pending in the court by the House of Assembly.
Okay.
We don't have immunity. We cannot take it.
Oh.
Because we were served with the summons.
Okay, you're saying
in that read. So for us to proceed on that, it will be a prejudice on the side of the House of Assembly.
okay.
So we didn't do it.
You're saying that the matter as regards the dissolution of the local government committee caretaker is pending in the court.
Yes.
It's all right, but what about the standing order as regards forming a quorum? Because the PDP lawmakers are saying that there were about 10 of them in the House yesterday, and that did not in any way nullify the standing order of the House.
That's a big lie. A big lie and a kind of subterfuge. That's what I can say. The House of Assembly consists of 26 members. We have 19 APC members of the House of Assembly. Remaining 7.
Okay.
If they are saying that they were there in number that sat yesterday, they should give us their names.
But they said they only needed 9 to sit, and they even had 10.
It's a lie. The 3 members that joined them, they are borrowed members or PDP members or those thugs. Because we were told that do you know there was no coverage? Because normally, any day we sit, we always have television coverage.
Okay.
They were asked not to come into the plenary. There wasn't anything like coverage, television coverage, because it is when they cover them that we can discover those people that were there.
But are you saying?
We will sign register.
Are you saying that there is no order or no rule in the House that allowed for 9 members to sit as it is?
There is even constitutionally, the quorum will be 9 with the presiding officer, which is the speaker.
Okay, with the presiding officer.
Yes.
Of course, there was a
sitting and the other person presiding. That's the quorum.
Okay.
But they have 7.
They had 7.
No, they did not make us the quorum. They had to go and borrow members.
Well, they said they had 10, and they also had a pro tem speaker.
What we are saying, even it is not possible for you to put a pro tem speaker. If we look through the Constitution, you will know the speaker can be put in place by 2/3 majority of the House, which is 18.
Okay.
Which is 18. It is not by the quorum. The quorum is for sitting.
I see.
The quorum is for of the house. So if they are laying claim, it's just a way of covering up and making real the abnormalities that they have perpetrated.
But Honorable, are you not baffled that the PDP got additional 3 members because about 5 of your colleagues in the APC also recently decamped to the PDP? Are you not baffled that possibly you're losing 3 more to the PDP at the floor of the House?
We have not, as far as I'm concerned, we are intact, and there's no how they can have any member from the APC defecting to their party.
It's all right. I've been speaking with Honorable Gunola Mowumi, representing Ijero constituency. She's also the chairman of the House Committee on HIV/AIDS. Thank you very much, Honorable, for speaking with us, and we'll also join in later for more updates.
Okay.
All right. I still have Victor High with me in the studio. Quite an intense conversation there with honorable member of the EKITI House of Assembly. But prior to this time, let's take it a step backwards a little. It started with trade of words between the incumbent governor now, Ayodele Fayose, and the former governor, Kayode Fayemi, as regards the cost implication of the State House. Now, just a few days ago, too, we started hearing about the intention of Fayose to asphalt the already asphalted road, to marble some of the places. There were also insinuations that certain contracts of repainting the same house was given to his blood brother. That also kick-started another level of trade of words. The Speaker of the House of Assembly also, alongside other lawmakers, came up to say that they are being intimidated by the governor. There are fuel stations being closed down and all of that. How do you juxtapose all of this in EKITI at this time?
I mean, the local balance, two fighting. Well, on a serious note, what is happening is not totally unexpected.
Okay.
And the reason is simple. Our politicians have lost a sense of, if you like, sense of responsibility and sense of shame. The primary duty is to their constituents, to the people that voted them. Their interest should override every other interest, every selfish or party interest. But that's not what we're seeing across board, nationally, at the federal level, at the state level, at the local government level. Fayose is behaving the way he's behaving because he's not sure that the House will objectively, work with him without being partisan. I mean, it happens even in the U.S., so I'm not going to say that it's peculiar here. It happens usually Republicans. But the thing is that in the end, what you find in America is that even if they do all that they do, they still come down to do what's in the best interest of the people.
Okay.
Now, if Fayose behaved any other way, two things are likely to happen. And I'm not justifying what he's doing or what's going on. He will either be impeached, and I think that was a plan that was granted. He as much as said so, and some of them are on the opposition have as much as said so, that yes, he may go on the seat, but they will impeach him. Okay? And then the speaker will take over, and then they will do another election, whatever. The second coup would be through the judiciary. It has happened before.
Okay.
And he had to confront both frontally. PDP had to choose a man like Fayose deliberately because this was not going to be a gentleman's fight. You don't take power away from a strong man, quote unquote, so easily. APC was always going to fight this. And they knew this, and they needed a man who was a fighter, a rugged person, who can match them. And that is what is playing out. How this will benefit the ordinary man in EKITI, we'll have to wait and see. The allegation, and she made allusion to it as well, was there that he was talking about approval for his commissioners and all that. And he went out to town saying they demanded a sum of 135 million naira from him 5 million for all members and 10 million for the speaker. And he told the EKITI people, he said, look, why do you expect me to do this? You know, that he needed to work, and it cannot be, you know. But it is also important to look at the issue of impunity. It didn't start today. When Fayemi took over, there were duly elected, not caretaker, duly elected local government officials in place. Fayemi sacks them, duly elected local government officials. He sacks them. These people went to court, they won. The impunity continued. He refused to respect the wishes of the court. You know, this matter is down. Now suddenly it's convenient for them to say, oh, the recent one is sub judice, so they must respect
We'll get
it.
there, but let's look at the legality and the morality, so to speak,
Of this
around this
immediate-
particular
No,
issue.
this particular one,
Because
from what we gather, nine can sit, and 9 can put up what they call a plenipotentiary speaker.
Okay.
Okay, or a pro tem speaker.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the governor may have done what he did. He took advantage of a lacuna, and they all do it.
Okay.
If 9 can sit, you know, she wasn't there, so she cannot say for sure who and who were there to make up the 10.
But she also made mention that this 9 must include the Speaker of the House, and there's no way they could have had a new Speaker without a 2/3 majority of the House. We're going to get there.
Okay.
But,
It's nice to hear, nice to hear from the PDP.
Exactly.
Well, so
we are working on speaking with someone from the PDP, and I'm
Okay.
sure that call will connect
Yes,
very
of
soon.
course, yeah.
But then, if all of these, she made mention of several other things, because there's a question of objectivity on the part of the members of the House. She said that they already passed a bill that came from the governor as regards 2 billion naira for small, medium-scale businesses.
I heard that.
So does that not in any way rubbish the school of thought that possibly the APC lawmakers are not willing to work with the governor?
It was a good point that was made there. But again, it's possible that that may have been done because to do it otherwise would mean that Fayose will blackmail them. You say, I wanted money for I wanted money for small-scale industries, and your people are blocking it. You know, there's no way they could have won that particular. If they did that, it would have bounced back against them negatively.
Yes,
You
all
know,
right.
so, yeah.
I believe we're joined now by one of the commissioner nominees in EKITI. Okay, I understand we have to wait for that call to pull through, but we're ensuring to balance our story on this to get the PDP side of all of this. She also made mention that Monday was not a normal day for sitting, that it was a day for, she called it parliamentary or something. And why would they want to sit on such a day, especially now that she also said certain members, APC lawmakers, were not allowed into the complex by military personnel?
You know what? I wish you were speaking to one of the 7, not even a commissioner nominee.
Okay.
You know, in order to be able to put this in proper perspective, I think it helps to hear from all sides, and then we can form a proper judgment. But, you know, the point is clear that there are rules in the House, okay? There are House rules, and whatever those rules are, you know, if there are loopholes, people will take advantage of them.
That's right.
What you find happening here, I said 2 fighting earlier on, is that all parties are looking for, you know, whatever gaps will exist for them to be able to do what they have to do. It's clear that, quite frankly, the governor is not going to get the cooperation of the APC legislators. That is clear. You know, they're not going to make it easy for him. He, on the other hand, will have to fight. And so, unless they consider the interests of the ordinary EKITI man, this is what is going to continue until probably after the election, if PDP has a clear majority in the House. You know, but otherwise, if they do not think about the interests of the common man, I guarantee you this is going to be the pattern till the governor leaves.
What kind of relationship
Yes.
should exist between the executive and the legislature in a state?
In a state, the thing is, first of all, the reason for that separation of power is for checks and balance.
Okay.
Okay? Checks and balances. Okay? Now, if there's going to be check and balance, it therefore means that the governor cannot act with impunity. Whatever he does must be subject to the executive, must subject itself to the legislature. The legislature, who will, how do I put it, make the laws that he will have to implement.
Okay.
Okay? That is how it should be, but whatever happens, both of them must cooperate.
Let me just hold you a minute, Victor. We're joined now on telephone by a special assistant to the EKITI State Governor on Public Communications and New Media, Larry Olayinka. Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for joining us on Call Digest. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on Call Digest.
Okay, no problem. I'm with you.
We spoke earlier with an APC lawmaker at the EKITI State House of Assembly who gave us our own position as regards what transpired yesterday at the EKITI House of Assembly. But let me just start by asking you, what is the position of the PDP in all of this?
The position of the PDP is simple. Governance cannot wait for anybody. The position of the PDP in the state is simple. The position of the people is very simple too. People cannot be, no political party, no individual, no organization has the right to hold people to ransom. You understand? It is the job of the House of Assembly to legislate. And if people choose to abandon their duty and go to Akure and if they decide to be going to Lagos to fully battle for a political merchant, for a political merchant, that is their problem. If people are interested in governance, in good governance, in dividend of democracy, and that is what they are getting from the governor. The position of the state as it is now is that House of Assembly of the state sat yesterday. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
They sat yesterday and they carried out their legislative duties. Unfortunately for some of our friends in the APC, they choose to be on Adaba FM radio station in Akure where they were castigating the government instead of being in EKITI to perform their duty.
But there are reports that the Deputy Speaker of the House as well as some other APC lawmakers were not allowed into the assembly complex by military personnel.
How could the Deputy Governor have been prevented from entering the House? How could that? Yesterday, the moment I read it online by some of them that 300 mobile armed policemen invaded the House of Assembly. I rushed there, even when I was not supposed to be there. I went there myself to confirm what was going on, and I took photographs of the premises of the House of Assembly. Only three, and I repeat, only three in that photograph, only three civil defense officers were within the premises, the compound of the House of Assembly. So was Deputy Speaker prevented from entering the House by those civil defense officers that were not carrying arms? You see, these people, let me take Nigerians back to 2007. In 2007, AC, that later became ACN and later APC, had 13 members in the House of Assembly. PDP had 13 members. Initially, when the House was inaugurated on June 2007 by former Congressman Kony, the APC members refused to show up in the House. The 13 of them refused to show up in the House. So the business of the House was carried out by 13 PDP members for like 3 months. It was when it became obvious that their seat was going to be declared vacant because they would have been able to sit in the House for the required number of times that they rushed back to the House.
But Larry Olayinka, let us...
I'm coming. On December 31, 2007, Sheikh Oni was to present budget, 2008 budget of EKITI State. The AC lawmakers, 13 of them, make it almost impossible for the governor to present budget. They even attempted to snatch the mails.
It's all right. It's all right. Let's just stay with, because of the limited time we have, let's stay with the issues surrounding the incident yesterday. How many speakers sat yesterday?
Huh?
How many lawmakers rather sat yesterday?
To my understanding, 9 lawmakers sat yesterday. And 26, in a state there are 26 members in the House of Assembly. 1/3 of 26 is 8.5, approximately 9. And that 9 members form quorum to be able to sit. In other words, business of the House can be conducted lawfully, legally by 9 members, unless you want to carry out impeachment of the governor, or you want to pass budget. That is where you need 2/3. In other business of the House, you only need 1/3, which is 9, and that was and that provision was complied with yesterday.
There are also opinions that these 9 members you're talking about must include the Speaker of the House.
When Patricia Ete, who was Speaker of House of Rep, was going to be removed in 2008 or thereabout, I can't remember the year now. Was Speaker Pro Tempore not appointed?
But are you also aware that you cannot appoint a new speaker without 2/3 of the House, the 2/3 majority of the House present?
You cannot appoint a new speaker, but you can appoint a speaker, a temporary speaker. That is the rule of the House. You can appoint a temporary because 26 members of the House of Assembly are potential speakers. You understand?
Okay.
All of them are potential speakers. Any one of them can be appointed to preside over the affairs of the House. That somebody was elected or appointed as a speaker does not also preclude other members the opportunity of also presiding over the affairs of the House. The moment you don't have the speaker, you don't have the deputy speaker on seat. And let me tell you, in 2010, when Fayemi, who was governor then, was going to dissolve, sack newly elected local government chairmen and councillors. And I'm saying it, duly elected local government and councillors. The 33 members in the House of Assembly were on their way from Abuja. They went to meet with the president. They were on their way to EKITI from Abuja when they heard on the news that the House of Assembly had sacked the chairman and councillors and also confirmed appointment of local government caretaker committee members.
Okay. I get you quite all right, Larry.
As at that time, the Speaker of the House was a PDP member. He was not there.
Okay.
The Deputy Speaker of the House, who was a member of ACN, was dead. So they use Speaker Pro Tempore to do that. So if it was right then, when it benefited them, can it be wrong now?
It's all right, Larry. The issue surrounding the dissolution of these local government caretaker committees, we also understand that these issues are presently in court, and that means that the lawmakers...
Hello. The issue was in court. When in July this year, Fayemi sent names of caretaker committee members to the House, and they cleared them and confirmed them. They were appointed. This case was in court then. So why did the Speaker, the APC lawmakers, raise the issue of the case being in court then? My brother, the issue of dissolution of local government was in court in 2010 when Fayemi dissolved local government and went ahead to appoint caretaker. Fayemi had been appointed caretaker. He appointed caretaker in 2010. He didn't conduct local government election, even though he dissolved duly elected local government council. He served duly elected chairman and councillors.
It's all right.
What he did then, and the PDP went to court. This case has been in court in 2010, and Fayemi was always appointed caretaker, and this House of Assembly was clearing them, was confirming the appointment.
It's all right, Larry. Just before we let you go very quickly, briefly, what is the position of your principal, the EKITI State Governor, in all of this?
The position of the principal of Mr. Governor is that governance must continue.
Okay.
The caretaker people that were and let me also tell you this. In case some of these people don't know, 5 of the APC members in the House of Assembly Assembly nominated members into the caretaker, and I start to be corrected. 5 of them, these people that are talking, they don't know, the speaker don't even know. They've nominated 5 of them. They were asked because they decided to cooperate with the governor, and they were given the chance of nominating members. So the people that were nominated and the appointment confirmed yesterday have been sworn in.
It's all right.
Today they are resuming on office.
It's all right.
The commissioner has been sworn in yesterday. They are resuming office.
Okay, I'm afraid we're running out of time with you now.
What we are also saying is that the APC lawmakers should come back to EKITI.
It's all right. It's all right. Thank you very much for your contribution. We've been speaking with Larry Olayinka, Special Assistant to Governor Fauci and Public Communications at New Media. Thank you for joining us on Core Digest. Whoa, Speaker. As a speaker, why is speaker into my mouth this morning?
No problem.
We have to wrap up this segment now. But what do you make of all of this?
Because, I think the points I made, it's
so exhaustive.
It just validated the points that I made earlier. The level of impunity that has gone on, you know. And I said earlier as well that it is whoever has the organ of the media that shouts the loudest.
I see.
And at such a time, you assume that they are the victims. You know, but this has gone on for so long. And he just reiterated that.
Victor Okhai, thank you very much for joining us today on
Thank
Core
you for
Digest.
having me.
We'll take a break now. We'll be joined again by a legal practitioner while we take a look at the legal dimensions to all of this. Stick around. Don't go away.